Hey besties, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we are doing our March TBR video. I can't believe we're already at the end of February. It's the last day of February right now when I'm filming this. I thought for this video we would do a little bit different. We're not going to do a TBR jar because in January I did a really good job of keeping to my TBR, and all I did was just create it based on what I wanted to read. And then February I did the TBR jar and I did not do a good job of keeping to my TBR. So we're just gonna go through some books I want to read in March, books that I have on my radar that I want to pick up this month or in the mood to read, just things like that. I currently have 6 books on my TBR. I think there's 2 romance and 4 fantasies. So I think we'll just get right into them and yeah. Okay, so first up on my March TBR, we have our first romance, and we have God of Fury by Rena Kent. This may be a bit of a surprise to my TBR. I started the series at the beginning of February and am currently reading book 4, and I, I'm enthralled by these books. I can't put them down when I pick them up. I read each of them. Books 1 through 3 I read in like 2 to 3 days. Book 4, it's kind of looking like that. We'll see. I'll probably finish it like tomorrow or something, but I have been really like just enraptured by these books. This is a dark romance series set at technically 2 universities on Brighton Island in the UK, and the 2 universities are rivals. One is a prestigious elite university called Royal Elite University that all the British aristocrat children go to. And then you have the King's University, which is where you have a lot of American and a lot of international students. And that's where you have our mafia heirs and their friends and that. And so between the 2 schools, you have rival groups, these elite clubs within the groups. And these books essentially are romances between a member of each side of the fence, for lack of a better word. But I have really been enjoying this series, and this is book 5, and I'm just really excited to jump into this, and then book 6 when it comes out, and then be sad that I finished the series. So yeah, first one on the TBR. So then I have a lighter romance. We have Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series, and we're following Wes from the first book in this one. If you've read Wild Love, he is Rosie's brother. I read the first book back in January and I loved it. I love Elsie Silver's writing. I've read her entire Chestnut Springs series, and so I'm really excited to read this. This one's really on my radar because the third one actually comes out in like less than a week. It comes out the beginning of March. So I really want to read this and then go into that one. So really excited to continue Elsie Silver's work and have a good time. So this next book that's on my TBR is a bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say a bit of a surprise, but it's unexpected, and that is Torment by Lauren Kate. This is actually the second book in the Fallen series, which is a YA fantasy series. And if you know anything about that, the first book came out almost 15 years ago. So this was very much a series that is reminiscent of the Hunger Games and Divergent and those eras in which they came out. This series lies heavily in the angels and demons and fallen angels, and that's what essentially this whole book, the lore, is based around, you could say. But I read Fallen in like 3 days, absolutely loved it. I started that this past month in February, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to go into this, especially with how the first one leaves off. It leaves off on kind of a lot going on and like kind of a cliffhanger preparing you for the rest of the series. So I'm excited to jump into this and see where Luce's story takes us next. So next up on the TBR, I have Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. This is the second book in the Legendborn cycle, and this is also another book that has the next book in the series coming out the beginning of March. I believe it comes out on the 4th. I read Legendborn back, I don't know, it was like June or July 2024. So it's been a while, and I've been wanting to pick this up, but I just I don't know what has been keeping me away from it. I really have been really intrigued to continue the series and see where it goes next and see how the storyline could get any better. My best friend read this book recently, actually, in preparation for the third one coming out. Or actually, no, she read it maybe it was a few months ago. But she really loved this. I think she liked it even more than the first one. And so I'm really, really intrigued. The first one was a 5-star read for me. So I'm really curious to see where the whole Arthur plotline goes and what is in store for Bree next. Because the first book left off on like a crazy cliffhanger, a crazy reveal as well. It was very insane. And so I can't wait to read this. So the next two books I have on my TBR are both part of the same series, and I have to group them together. I'm not going to separate them out because that is Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I did in the month of February read Queen of Shadows, so I will be continuing the series, and I really want to read these two books at some point in March. I will be doing the tandem read. I've heard from most people that the tandem read is the way to go, especially just because the plots do exist on the exact same timeline, and it just makes it easier to get through Tower of Dawn, especially. But I really, really want to read these this month and continue my Throne of Glass journey because the way book 4 ended really left a lot open for the storyline and really left you on a very like hopeful feeling. And I know this is gonna like tear my heart out along with Kingdom of Ash. So we're slowly but surely making our way through the Throne of Glass series. So those are the 6 books I have like on my radar for this month. I'll obviously read stuff that's not on my TBR. I always read stuff that's not on my TBR, and I usually read somewhere between 8 to 12 books in a month. It really depends on the reading month, what's going on, what I'm doing, how busy my classes are. But let's recap all the books that I have on my radar on my TBR for the month of March before I end this video. We have God of Fury by Rena Kent, Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver, Torment by Lauren Kate, Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion, and then we have Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. So these are the 6 books on my TBR for the month. All of them are continuing series that I am in the middle of, which is really good because I finished some series in February, but I also started some series. So I really need to work on getting through these series. But all in all, I'm really excited to continue these series, read these books for in the month of March, really anticipating these along with the new release for the Legendborn cycle and Rose Hill series. And I just can't wait to see where the storylines go next. So that's all for my TBR video. I know I didn't post much in the month of February. I was getting a new laptop and then was working on getting all my stuff like switched over and getting my editing software sorted out and all that. And so I didn't really have much posted in the month of February, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully March, I have a few ideas planned out. Hopefully I can execute them and actually keep up to date with some posting. So that'll be all for this video. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff you guys know how to do. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.